They deserted me, but now the Porsche's 911. It's an emergency. I do not accept apologies. You did it purposely. If I say fuck you, it's fuck you for all eternity. I used to shop at Angel Views, living with a broken wing, sleeping at a minimum, cause all I had was broken dreams. Used to sell work and hit different. You know the fiends.
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. I go by the name Black Pegasus, Black Pepper Sauce, the last snare bender, Salty Pegasus.
And it's your boy, Don Wannabe. I was like, when is he going to end? What else? Yeah, Don Wannamiss.
Those are all the names you can look me up if I get canceled.
Rip Daddy, Don Juan.
If I get canceled, look me up under that name on these platforms, under these other aliases.
I thought we were reacting to Stevie Ray Vaughan at first. You got confused me, and then you pulled up Kevin Hart. So I'm like, what is happening?
This freaking guy right here. You don't know.
For a second, I did think it was Kevin Hart. No lie. No disrespect, Ray Vaughan.
All
they
right.
could be brothers, though. It could be a stunt double at least, right?
Man, don't make me get into this, man, with you. It's like they all look alike.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
You said it, man. Not this digging a grave.
Digging my grave.
Anyways, Ray Vaughn, man. Have you heard of him before?
I have not.
Okay, so Chef B. West put him on my radar.
Shout out to Chef.
He's the most recent signee of Top Dog Entertainment, TDE, so Kendrick's label.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw this LA Leakers freestyle. I might have to play that for you. It's so incredible. So I'm not familiar with his music. I did my first reaction a couple weeks ago. He sent me this. I'm like, yo, after this, I'm probably gonna have to. So I don't listen to music so I can react. But this dude is so ill. I don't want to skew your point of view. I've never seen this video before.
Just from the opening sequence, the way it was coming in, the bars he was putting together, I was just like, oh, shit.
Emergency Porsche. He's at 911. I'm like, bro, let's freaking go. So anyways, all right, you guys, we're about to react to Ray Vaughn, Picking Cherries. And, it's going down. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on all the content. But if you're really rocking with the vibe, please subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 100K before the end of the year. And let's get into this, man. Phenomenal lyricist, Ray Vaughn. Let's go. 40-year-old
boys are back in town. 40. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this, man.
Malt liquor for your ear, man. Damn.
Yeah, that's us,
we
man.
gutter. Can't be like, fine,
we the ones,
fine
baby.
wine for your ear.
We the ones. All right, man, we be on some foolish stuff sometimes, you guys. But, I just got to keep it real, man. So me and you, we just reacted to Coast Contra's freestyle. And there's these lyricists that are peeking their head out that I just haven't heard of. Must have been under a rock too long.
You're old. That's what it is. You're a 40-year-old FUQ boy.
Some of the people that are on my radar right now where I'm like, let's fricking go. Okay? Coast Contra. Ray Vaughn is up there. RJ Payne. Cambada. These are people who just hit me with the side. I'm like, oh, you got a nice left hook. Like,
I don't know if I've heard Cambada.
You have, but
did we react to it back in the day?
Back in the day
on the live stream.
Yeah, he was.
That song is ill.
Yeah, but anyways, let's get off all that and let's focus on my man Ray Vaughn. I've never heard this song before. Honestly,
Ray Vaughn, the chef.
I'm not really familiar with his art like that because I've been just waiting to react to the stuff. But I'm gonna have to dive. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and dive into his catalog, see what he has on Spotify and stuff. Because, dude, let's go. Ray Vaughn, Picking Cherries, official music video. Let's get it popping.
But I was dead for a while. Literally. And they brought me back. I was gone, man.
It's kind of messed up. We were out here starting with jokes, and then this is like mad serious at the beginning. I'm like, dang. Crazy.
Hold on. I had that same earring.
What?
Back in the day.
The cross joint?
Yeah. Like when I was in grade school. I used to rock it all the time.
That's tight. It's funny. That's that video. Anyways.
Porsche's 911. It's an emergency. I do not accept apologies. You did it purposely. If I say fuck you, it's fuck you for all eternity. I used to shop at Angel Views, living with a broken wing, sleeping at a minimum, cause all I had was broken dreams. Used to sell work, it hit different when you know the fiends. Growing up, we never did ballet, but we was holding beams. Hopped off the same porch I used.
Bro, we never did ballet, but we were holding beams. He said something about angels. He was like, I shopped
it. Yeah.
But broken wings, bro. That wordplay is freaking bananas.
I just love the intro too. Like it's like that. I love that type of, like, to me, it's like moody is what I would call it, where it just kind of like slowly builds and you can just like feel the beat about to drop.
Yeah.
And he's just like building up to it, and the lyrics are just like ramping up, and it's just like, you know who does that well? Meek Mill. He'll ride into the beats kind of like this, but already from just 30 seconds of lyricism, this dude is like, he's crushing it. Let's go.
Deserted me, but not a Porsche's 911. It's an emergency. I do not accept apologies. You did it purposely. If I say fuck you, it's fuck you for all eternity. I used to shop at Angel Views, living with a broken wing, sleeping at a minimum, cause all I had was broken dreams. Used to sell work, it hit different when you know the fiends. Growing up, we never did ballet, but we was holding beams. Hopped off the same porch I used to wait for my dad. Sad and hope nobody see through the mask. So trying to forget that nigga is a difficult task. Can't follow in his footsteps cause we on two different paths. Damn, Maya, can't believe that you passed. Love your people while they here, the streets taking them fast. Water off and I can even give my baby a bath. I got 15 minutes of fame, so I'm making it last. I used to eat the ramen noodles out the butter bowl. Heating up the house, don't let that oven close. I put on my grown man shoes, and I still can never trust a soul. Mama working doubles while I'm trying to chase the mother load. Had close kin try to cross me, they born fake. I grew up with them, watching Rugrats on the orange tape. Looking back, nobody showed up to my court dates. They eyes on the bread, see biscuits like a horse race. Whip vouchers used to
see biscuits like a horse race. He said something else. I mean, it's kind of right before he dropped the ballet line. He said something about serving bass heads or whatever hit different when you know them.
Yeah, when you know them by name or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, bro, dude, this is like, it's weird because this joint right here is demonstrating a high caliber of lyricism, but I'm getting a feeling. When he's talking about waiting for his dad and he never really showed up, and then his homie passing, he's like, bro, like, we're going fast.
It's interesting because sometimes it's like a fine line, right? Where it's like he's like putting in the lyricism, he's creating a mood, but it's like heartfelt. Like sometimes when people try to drop those, it comes across as like, I don't want to say corny, but you know what I'm talking about.
When it's too lyrical, it's
it just doesn't.
Sometimes people try to be too lyrical and it doesn't hit you in the heart.
Yeah,
but
or they're trying to hit you in the heart and it just is like off the mark. You can't feel that emotion through it. But he's doing that balance of being able to do both.
The other thing is in his voice.
Yeah.
The way he's delivering it, you feel the pain in his voice. I mean, I do. So, yeah. So far, so good, man. This is dope.
Me, they born fake. I grew up with them, watching Rugrats on the orange tape. Looking back, nobody showed up to my court dates. They eyes on the bread, see biscuits like a horse race.
See, I like the way he connected their eyes on the bread, see biscuits like a horse race. And if you guys aren't, you should know, See Biscuit was a dope
movie. Yeah,
about a horse.
Whip vouchers used to pay for kicks in the cornflakes. Strong people break too. We just rebuild quietly. It's probably cause we scared of being judged by society. EDD scams brought my niggas out of poverty. And battling yourself ain't a fair fight. In my darkest days, when nobody there to shed light. Work the corner, baking soda, beat it like it's egg whites. Now it's W's like.
Oh man, he said, work the corner, beat the baking soda like it's egg whites. You in there cooking? Hey, yo, this is raw. Let me bring it back up.
Niggas out of poverty. And battling yourself ain't a fair fight. In my darkest days, when nobody there to shed light. Work the corner, baking soda, beat it like it's egg whites. Now it's W's like the beginning of a website. I just lost my grandpa, I know he in the sky. Man,
jeez, yo. I mean, these are like, they're self-explanatory, but you know, sometimes with double entendres that just really hit. Like, you're like,
well, even just that line, I mean, it's like simple, but it's like, he said, battling yourself is not a fair fight. And that's the real struggle. I mean, the greatest battle in life is that battle that you have in your own head. That's like, oh, you're not good enough. I'm not good enough. You know, get out of bed, go to the gym, wake up.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
other thing
one
I want
more
to
rep.
I say this on the channel. You haven't been on the channel for a while, but Ralph Smart always says this. He says simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. And that's what you were just saying. Like sometimes there's this thing we do with punchlines, like, because I write, you know, but if you can take a very deep concept and put it in a bar or a punchline, that is actually complicated to simplify something so in depth. Because think about it, it's not a fair fight. Boom, done, simple. But you're like, no, this is deep. Every day we have this internal dialogue. Let's get back into the reaction. But it's you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah, one point on that, just because you touched on it. Like I've been reading different things on copywriting. So copywriting is like basically how to write ads.
Yep.
You know, and it's interesting because there was something that was said. This guy basically said that and it's kind of fucked up, but he was like, 50% of America or something reads at like a 6th grade reading level.
Yes.
Right. And so the whole concept was like, stop trying to use big words, stop trying to like, you know, impress people with your vocabulary, make it simple and put emotion into it.
Yep.
It's like if you can, you know, use a word that's really big, try to find a simple word and take that concept. So it's a similar thing. I just thought it was very interesting because I know that sometimes I'll get in my head and, you know, try to spit these big words and I'm like, damn, there is an art to that. Like you were saying.
Yep.
Days when nobody there to shed light. Work the corner, baking soda, beat it like it's egg whites. Now it's W's like the beginning of a website. I just lost my grandpa, I know he in the sky. Man, that nigga like my daddy, glad I got to say goodbye. Had deep convos with him right before he fucking died. And I know it fucked him up, cause I ain't never seen him cry. He ain't wanna go to sleep, cause he knew death was still in the ride. He knew death was in the air, and that's something you can't deny. He said you finna go to Hollywood, and I said I'ma try. Now I'm feeling crossed over, cause he on the other side. They use crates for entertainment, mine's will hold up the bed. Ain't gotta tell you why I cut you off, you know what you said. And if you focus on your past, then you won't get ahead. They found DeAndre with a hole in his head. I'm James Harden of my family, nigga. Look at all the shit I carry. Now I'm finally buzzing, like a haircut in the military. Standing on my words, I put my foot on top of dictionaries. When I lived on Cherry, it was easier than picking cherries. I never asked him for nothing.
Dude, he's saying so much stuff. Like, you can just get it from the first listen, but like even how he said, now I'm buzzing, like, you know, haircuts in the military, and the way it's not like a crew cut. He didn't say army. He said made it rhyme with military. I was like, that's dope.
And then tied it in as standing on my words like a dictionary.
Shit I carry, now I'm finally buzzing, like a haircut in the military. Standing on my words, I put my foot on top of dictionaries. When I lived on Cherry, it was easier than picking cherries. I never asked him for nothing, Lord knows I'm bad with a compass. Found myself on the path of the cheese and my craft got adjusted. Blew up in their face, I mastered eruptions. We throwing hints, I'm past the discussion. Fuck my ex, she the last one I trusted. Used to live baggy and busted, chain was ashy and rusty. Now it's like a family reunion, I got so many cousins. Throw nasty as hummus, I got a wave like the taxi is coming. Wait, hold up, that's the taxi.
That last part kind of reminded me of Kendrick.
I got that vibe too a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was just stopping because I like that bar. I got a wave like a taxi is coming, because that's the thing. Like, yo,
Yeah.
this is my, like, yo, he wavy, yo, this is my wave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But it's just
catching
like
a wave.
Yeah, that's tight.
The last one I trusted. Used to live baggy and busted, chain was ashy and rusty. Now it's like a family reunion, I got so many cousins. Throw nasty as hummus, I got a wave like the taxi is coming. Wait, hold up, that's the taxi is coming. King Golf the strong as hell, but I ain't carrying no dead weight. I can't let nobody live rent free inside my headspace. It's hard to digest. See my nigga lose a fed case. Paddington when we was robbing houses with the bad face. Yeah, the house is burning, can't believe I went on tour. Yeah, my feelings might be tainted, but my energy is pure. 7-6 in Hoover Street where we was sleeping on the floor. Lost some battles with myself, but in the end I won the war. It's Vaughn. I should've stayed strangers to a lot of motherfuckers. They just taught me anybody can switch up no matter the history of Bond. Shit, I even switched up on myself. I had to catch myself. Fuck is you doing? Yeah.
that's hard. So I like the way. I liked everything about that joint. You know, some joints you like when someone could do that without a hook. And still reach you.
It's funny because I didn't even realize that till you said it because I was just like,
that's
caught up in it.
I mean, I write music all the time, so that's one of the first things I noticed. Sometimes you have these exceptional lyricists who can do something like this. You know, Locksmith is up there with an exceptional lyricist, but when you could write a verse to a beat and be this touching, like, I don't know, there's so much. I
mean, you know what pops out for me is that I feel like so much music, so much hip hop, all music really, like EDM, I see it too.
Yeah.
It becomes formulaic.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain artist.
A cookie cutter to make a hit.
Yeah. It's a certain artist catches a vibe and and it works and it sells. And also like people like it. So then they try to emulate it. So it's not just like, oh, we're going to make a hit. You know, sometimes it's just like, oh, I like this style.
Yeah.
The same thing happens in EDM. You have these waves of like certain people will come with a certain style. Other people try to emulate it. So with something like that, where there is no hook, it's like, I like those songs where it breaks the mold. And it's like, look, we're not going to follow the formula. We're just going to do it this different way. And just the way that the, beat kind of came in and out and just like rode this wave, it creates this like different type of vibe and feeling throughout.
And the whole video was 4 minutes and 30 seconds long. So the song was like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think if that's 4 minutes, that's like equivalent to 3 verses plus hooks. So I mean, my man almost
like
dropped
48 bars plus.
He almost dropped 4 verses.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is it was so packed with so much substance. And this is the part that hit me was his grandpops. When he started talking about, I don't know if he said he never really seen him cry, but then he did on his bed. It was almost like saying he wasn't ready to go. Like. And that just touched me because I'm like, dang, like it actually painted this vivid picture of like my life flash in front of me. Like, yo, one day I'm going to be sitting here in this position. And I was like, how am I going to deal with that as a man looking at my grandkids or my kids and being like, yo,
Yeah, it's weird because that's where my head kind of went too. Like if I was on my deathbed, what would I be saying to my son? And like how
stoic can you be or how, like, it's like, man, I've said bye to my mother. And I remember, man. Bro, this was deep, bro. This was really dope. And what's cool is, like, I loved it because I'm a lyricist. I love watching lyricists. And so when you're able to mix that, like, Tupac emotion with real lyricism, because that's the one thing. Tupac was an artist, and his voice captured your emotion.
Yeah.
But he wasn't focused on punchlines and these certain things, So, like, when you can mix that, it just, dude, I just love it, bro. So.
Yeah.
He's never heard of Ray Vaughn. This is his first time. I mean, anything else you want to say?
No, I just love this. I mean, that's one of the parts of reactions that I love is that like constantly being introduced to new music and it opens up this door. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, because somebody asked me like, what are your passions in life?
Yeah.
What are you most passionate about? And I'm like, man, I have so many, like my brain's like a squirrel. Like I go to all these different things. I love cooking. I love exercising, love jujitsu. But I was like, if I had to define one passion that's carried throughout my whole life that I've spent more time than anything else, it's listening to music, listening to music, just because I drive all the time for my job. And then just like, I would go and just like listen to music like all night. Just sit there and download back when it was Napster and just like search for new music and sit there for hours. Sometimes I just be like,
you were one of those dudes hating on Metallica?
Exactly. I basically made him go broke.
Oh,
yeah,
hell
but I'd be
no.
up till like 6 in the morning sometimes, just like downloading new music. And like sometimes you'd find all this like new music and have a really good night where you're finding this new shit. And it's like, I'm cracked out, just like, oh shit, I got another banger. And just going down all these weird avenues of like, different music that, I'd never heard, different genres.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed this. Shout out to Ray Vaughn, man. I'm going to peep out the catalog. I'm going to try to do a couple more reactions before I really dive into his catalog. I don't know. Like I said, I've never heard of him until the last few weeks, or maybe it's been a month. But, shout out to Chef B. West for putting Ray on my radar. Dude, Hey, we're not worthy. We're not worthy, bro. You're nice.
Yeah.
Cause you haven't even seen the LA Leakers joint. I wanted to do it here, but I was like, yeah, we'll go down the rabbit hole. I've already reacted to it, so I was like, I'll just play it for you because it's bonkers.
You know, that's one thing I was thinking about. This is kind of a weird side note, but you said Chef put you onto this. The one thing I was thinking that's sad about this generation, that record stores closed. And it's because of the environment. Like, I miss going to a record store because you had just music heads in there and you could go and just have conversations and be like, yeah, what's good? And they'd be like, oh, have you heard this? And they'd like take you.
It's like going to a library for music. It's
exactly.
like, oh yeah, I'm going to study.
And that's the one thing that it's like, it's great that you have all this access and then an artist can put, you know, their music out there and reach the whole world. But the one thing that's kind of sad is that you don't get that experience of walking in, physically touching it, and then having those conversations with other music lovers. Like, what are you listening to? What came out recently? And the people that worked in the record store, you know, they always be on point with the new shit, you know? And I remember what I used to do is I used to read the liner notes. So I'd bust open the CD, right? And it's got the, you know, thank yous. And I'd go through and I'd see who produced this.
Yeah.
What studio did they record it in? And then I'd go and look for other albums and be like, oh shit, that was the same producer, or this was recorded in D&D Studios. I bet you this is good. Or they'd give a shout out to like, you know, Group Home. I remember like reading like Group Home and I'm like, okay. And then I see Group Home record on the shelves and I'm like, damn, I don't know anything about it, but MOP or Gangstar gave them a shout out. So I'm gonna buy this record because they got a shout out and liner notes on this other record.
It was like I can't think of the word, man. It's like a search.
It's a treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt.
That's what it felt like.
Say. Yeah,
you'd be in there and
you're like, yo, who's the next? You're trying to find the next hot artist before your homies.
Yeah.
Yo, have you heard of this though? Have you heard of Law of the Dark, man? Like, who's that? He's from Wu-Tang, mother. Like, and people be like, yo, son, he put me on. And now it's just like the internet. But that's how it is. Chef is like, yo, you heard of this? And I'm like, who's this? And then I hit him. I'm like, yo, you heard of this? He's like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, man. Ill. Ray Vaughn, man. Thanks for getting the convo going with us, man. We old heads, man. We love it. Before we go, you guys don't forget to like, share, and comment on all the content. If you really rocking with the vibe, subscribe to the channel. We gonna hit that 100K, man. We gonna get it, baby. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ boy.